Welcome to the Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome, people, to the What Wrestling Podcast. See, that's good because it's WWP to the WWP, which I think would be a really good, long-term intro that we could do. Anyway, my name is El De Niro. I'm joined today by my co-host Miguel.
Hello. Just a quick idea as well. Sorry. That would be cool to have that as welcome mats, wouldn't it? Welcome people. It's a good merch idea. Just saying.
Oh, you're thinking long term already.
Yeah. Come walk in our logo. Come on in.
You know you've made it when you're confident that people will walk on your logo and not disrespect it.
Come wipe your feet on our content. Come on, settle down, take a seat, have a cup of tea. Yes. Hello. How are you?
Speaking of wiping your feet on your own content, how about that greatest Royal Rumble?
Now, it is custom, I believe, to actually wipe your feet.
Yeah.
When you probably go in to the greatest Royal Rumble. I'm pretty sure that's probably like a thing over there. So we are doing the greatest Royal Rumble, aren't we?
Yeah, the word greatest is really, it serves more of a functional purpose here than being a term of accuracy, which should be noted. Do you know what the exact figure that the Saudis paid Vince McMahon for this? I read 200 million, but I don't know if that's an actual published amount or...
Probably between 150 and 200 million.
Yeah, so that's a lot of money. Is that enough money for you to, ignore the existence of women? Yeah.
Well, you don't have to take that question up with me. You'd have to take that question up to the most of the governments in the Western world who will happily have trade deals with these countries and don't even look twice at things like the atrocities in Yemen. Oh shit, we just went in.
2 minutes in.
Oh god. I was just talking, I kind of caught myself oh god, I'm going there now. I don't know. It's a troubling question, and it's a question that I'm not a business. We're not businesses, so I can't actively say that what I think is the thing that they should do.
Yeah, dude, I'll give my actual opinion, right? They're a private company. I couldn't give a shit what they do. That's pretty much it. They're under no moral obligation to do anything one way or another.
Wrestling, of all the things as well.
Yeah.
Moral. Yeah.
I know.
Trish Stratus being made to bark like a dog. Oh, the morals. Listen, it's a money-making industry, and you know as well, the figure that they actually got paid probably doesn't even matter because they know they can go in there and the merch sales will be, they can just jack up the prices on all those Cena t-shirts and shit. So
would it be, is it technically racist if I say a lot of people seem to have been buying Iron Sheik merch?
Yes, because he's Iranian. And according to Davari, they ain't well liked.
Yeah, no, that does seem to be the case. I assume we'll get there. But so we're reviewing the Greatest Rumble for anyone who doesn't know. And this was just a hell of a fucking... Just, in the same way that I like to... If I'm driving past a car crash, I'll slow down a little bit. I'll have a look, see what's happening. I might not necessarily like what I see. I don't know why I said necessarily. There is no car crash I've ever seen and actually liked. But
well, I suppose if it was a really horrible car crash and you saw survivors, you'd be like, I like that.
That's
not
true.
What happened beforehand, but I like the privilege. That car looks wrecked. That dude looks fine. So there you go. That's the best outcome there.
And unlike that, there were no survivors from this.
No, there was not. Yeah. So we're just gonna go. I'm just gonna go through this kind of as it happened. But obviously, we can skip shit. So we're not. This isn't much like WrestleMania. This was a watch, not as a review, more like just a general thought, because it's hard to contextualize this both into current storylines and I suppose match quality.
Well, this event as well, it deliberately takes place sort of in a weird grey area that's not quite inside storylines, but it's not outside of it either. So it's pretty much everything here is inconsequential. So discussing it layer by layer wouldn't really make sense anyway, because we talk about storylines and there are none really here.
This just occurred to me. Sorry, I just had a thought here. This is basically the exact equivalent of those UK tours.
Yeah, that's
when
right.
they used to be pay-per-views, not now where it's just a Raw and a SmackDown and like AJ wins the fucking belt. Like this is exactly the same when you have. Do you remember what was it called? That Insurrection.
Oh yeah, dude, I had that on
Rebellion.
VHS.
It's the same as those where like everything's kind of slightly, don't worry if you're not watching this, because obviously those would be on Sky Box Office, and I think eventually they play over on. No, they wouldn't even play on pay-per-view. They would just be on Sky Box Office, and that was it. So you wouldn't even be seen in America or elsewhere. So you'd have things that happen that are very self-contained, and I just want to throw it out there that Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez said there would be lots of title changes. And people pay to hear that, by the way. People pay for that content. Isn't that weird? They were like, yeah, there's going to be loads of title changes. They're going to, pull out everything just for them. And it's just like, well, if you think about it in the context of when they go to UK, they sometimes give you William Regal maybe winning a title.
Yeah, William Regal will win the European title while he's there, and then he'll drop it to Jeff Hardy or something when he comes back, like that kind of thing.
Spike Dudley, yeah. So they give you that because they know, it sounds really horrible, but they know that outside of North America, we're just marks. So, like, the show existing sometimes is good enough. You don't need, like, every now and then they'll pull out a title change so you can go, okay, that stuff does happen. But mostly, if you go back on these UK shows or any shows that take place outside of, like I said, of North America, you get fucking nothing.
I know. Yeah.
You get what you get, and that's what you get. Like, in those UK pay-per-views, it'll be like, oh, it's a title match, except it's Shane McMahon and Triple H versus The Rock. It's like, come on, Shane's going to win the belt here in England, right? Yeah.
Did you happen to see the odd bit of controversy Dave Meltzer seemed to land himself in on the eve of this? So, all right, I may explain this incorrectly. So if people in the comments are like, "Yo, L, that's not what happened," fair enough. I was drinking from about 3 o'clock that day, so
you're only yourself. You only see what you saw. So
So here's what I think happened. Anyway, someone tweeted Dave Meltzer saying, to make up for the Greatest Rumble thing, they should have an entire event where it's just women. And Dave Meltzer responded with, replace women with black people and you'll see how disgusting that comment really is. And I don't understand what fucking point he was trying to make, because it is not illegal and punishable by death in the United States for there to be a black champion, or let alone a black person wrestling in a ring. So I don't really get what the fuck he was trying to say, but he was completely against the idea. I think it would be a stupid idea because it would be the Fed saying, yeah, we did a morally incorrect thing for bags of cash. Here's the right thing to do, and you can buy it now for $9.99. You know what I mean? Like, it's fuck off with that. That's stupid.
Yeah. So, two things about that. One, it wasn't like black men have only just been allowed to drive as well.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or it wasn't like they had to like marry white men just because they were white men. And number two, right? The only way that would ever happen, then if they'd reverse and go, oh, it's an all-woman show tonight, as if the sponsor said anything. But they ain't gonna say anything because their pockets are lined up, because they're as deeply involved in the whole Saudi Arabia, or is it morally wrong? Well, can we sell Snickers there at the fucking counter? Yeah? Well, I don't give a shit then, because that's about the bottom line.
I think the popularity of Snickers is a moral crisis all of its own. But anyway, I digress.
But they were the ones who essentially got the fucking Fabulous Moolah name removed.
Yeah. It's good to see where their priorities lie.
Yeah, so it's like it's that thing, isn't it? If Toys R Us or if Mattel come in and go, right, we've been getting a lot of feedback from wrestling fans who said they were gonna not watch the pro. I mean, why they contact Mattel who do toys.
7-year-olds. I'm not buying a Mickey James action figure.
I just don't understand why Sasha wasn't there. So that's the only people they're technically accountable to, or that they would be able to hold them to account. But what did you make here of the start as well? They've got the U.S. national anthem.
That was very weird. I thought. I think I've said this before, and hopefully not to the ire of any Americans, but I don't fucking understand why they perform the national anthem before an event anyway.
That is an international event. That is internationally not even where they fucking are.
They do it in the fucking, the NFL Super Bowl and all that. Like, I don't know, it's whatever, but it's very weird to do that in Saudi Arabia. Like, I doubt that the Irish GAA events that they have in the UK are prefaced with the Irish national anthem.
Yeah. And the Saudi Arabians just going to stand and put their hands over their heart now as well. Like, it's... Because they said now the national anthem, the U.S. national anthem, and the Saudi Arabian national anthem, but they cut away when the U.S. one ended. So they must have played that just for them, because obviously for us we had the hype package.
Yeah, that's right. And I also saw they did a little promo package in between for Backlash, which featured some women. And the fucking Saudi Arabian sports, the general sports, I don't know, Ministry for Sports or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the commission body that covers all sports in Saudi Arabia apologized to the whole nation because they showed females participating in a sport for a few seconds in the Backlash promo.
Cards.
Which is just, obviously I said they're a private company, I don't give a shit, but just that, Jesus Christ, Saudi Arabia, would you ever just fucking give it a rest?
That's why it was strange when we had Corey Graves talk about saying that this is progress. Now, but then again, you've got to look at it in the context of, it's
certainly cultural progress for that country.
Exactly.
That is true. You can't deny that.
And I think Dave Chappelle... he had quite a good bit on his stand-up about how gays and the people in the LGBT community is he made a point in around jokes. He kind of was just because it's now legal doesn't mean that everybody likes it. There's still a long way for equality.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? So it's that thing where it's maybe in fucking 100 years it might be okay. So
I don't really get, though. Finn Balor tweeted an explanation as to why he didn't wear his LGBT colors, and he was like, because I don't wear them all the time. I wear whatever, whenever. And it's yeah, we know that's true, but come on. That's not why you didn't wear them. You didn't wear them because that's a crime punishable by death in that country and didn't want to cause any controversy. I don't know.
Yeah, because he was I didn't wear it that Raw, I didn't wear it that house show, which is true. He probably only had it from Mania and in and around that time, because I don't remember him having too much before that. But I think everyone, because it was in the front, well, maybe not everyone's front news on Twitter, but it was on my, when you go on the search engine.
Moments.
It was on top. Mine, yeah. It was on top of the moments as well. It's Finn Balor explains why he didn't represent the whole Finn Balor clubs for everyone. Mm-hmm. Well, you can guess pretty quickly. I mean, realistically, he like I said, he is someone working for that company, and I'm pretty sure if he said, "I really want to wear it," they'd go, "I'm sorry that you can't come."
Yeah, I know.
All right.
It's Sami Zayn was "Hey, I'm a little bit Syrian," and they were "Yeah, well, you can't come."
Yeah. Well, fuck off.
It's I don't know. But Finn's explanation was kind of when YouTubers are "Hey, leave a like, it really helps me out." It doesn't. It just boosts your own ego. I'm happy enough to say that to my subscribers. Leave a like. It really helps me love myself a little bit more.
It helps with the that's very true. Yeah, I never get that. And they're you're just helping out the community, just like this. It's how is it helping anyone?
I tell you this, it is fantastic to see likes, because it means that people didn't just click the video by accident and leave. So when you see likes, you're they interacted with it in some way. Because a lot of people don't comment, as you and I both know, running this YouTube channel. But when people like it, you're yeah, that's good. Anyway, if people don't leave a like on the video after that, I don't know what'll get them.
No, I hardly ever like stuff that I watch. I only tend to like stuff if I really want to be man, that was good. That's some good content. So I'm trying to be more proactive now about liking stuff. I think it's because I didn't have a YouTube account for about 6 years, so I never even occurred to me to like things or to subscribe. I'm not even joking. From 2010, I had a YouTube account. as we all know, as everyone knows probably, that I used to edit Scott Steiner videos day in and day out and put subtitles over what he was saying.
Man,
and
if that channel never got banned because of all the racist stuff you posted, I assume. Just
yes,
kidding.
all the pro Hogan stuff I posted.
Yeah. But if that channel never got banned and you kept doing that, you would be like an IWC superstar right now.
In this day and age, hells yeah. And if anyone is wondering what those videos look like, well, someone stole one. They uploaded it. If you just Google unnecessary bleeping Scott Steiner, or unnecessary swearing or something, then Scott Steiner, it comes up with one of them. And I know it's one of my videos because the intro song is something like from GTA. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, definitely only me would ever do that. And then
dude, sometimes if I'm watching a video and like you know the way you watch like the People That Are Awesome compilations or whatever that shit on YouTube. So sometimes I watch those and I start treading through, and sometimes it'll be like a CKY song or something, or like a fucking Turbo Negro or whatever, and I'm always like, maybe Miguel made this video.
I haven't gotten into editing in a little while of stuff like that. But yeah, no. What were we talking about? Oh yeah,
the Steiner files.
Oh yeah, fuck the Steiner. Yeah, there's a singular Steiner file. If anyone's interested, you'll know. By the way, you'll know it's mine because there's also an old account that I commented with, going, "Hey, I made this." That was it. Just both astonishment and realization. Hey, I made this. And enter. I'll leave that there.
Excellent.
It's a shame all those accounts died because they were liked. I mean, some people used to give me shit for them, being like, why are you bleeping it there? That's not even what he actually said. Why are you spelling that thing weird? And it's just like, that's
okay, yeah. Welcome to the internet, pal.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess we're trying to avoid talking about this whole thing, aren't we?
Yeah, well, listen, we start out with Cena Triple H. Cena gets a big pop. It's a very standard house show match, but I think it's a really good match because it shows how great the two of them are. And just
I actually thought the exact same.
Yeah.
Literally.
Okay, great.
I honestly thought like, oh yeah, these two, are they going to do test of strength? Oh, there it is. They're going to do, I give you a shoulder and I do my, I point to the crowd and then you do your shoulder and you do a suck it, which it was weird that he went with that one, by the way,
yeah.
Of all things in that place. But
he was lately taken to Mecca and beheaded.
And fucking savagely beaten. It's just odd. And I'm not being, I wonder if people get offended, just because he did a suck it thing. But I'm trying to figure out what the line is based on some of the people that they had. And I can't quite figure it out other than the fact that they're not women. What the men can look like, what their character can be. Like, I mean, I wouldn't expect Val Venus to come out here. Yeah, and just... I heard that Saudi Arabia is like a sword. It goes up and down. Up and down.
Do you know what's crazy? What I find utterly ridiculous is that if that were to happen, they would say, no, that man is disrespecting women. We can't have that.
Best of it. Hello, ladies. Not a single bit of reaction.
It really is like...
Ain't none.
That punchline, right, of Saudi Arabia is mean to women. Like, I actually don't fucking get tired of it. Like, I make the same joke over and over. And the whole way through I watched this show on Skype with one of my buddies. And the entire way through it, that is the one joke I kept on making. Oh, we can't have this because someone's going to get beheaded in Mecca for... acknowledging
that.
Yeah, so it's just, Jesus, like, this is a seriously fucking conservative culture. But I'll tell you this, the first match, we'll just finish that. The FU and then the Irish Whip. Oh no, sorry, the FU and then the fucking catapult thing and then the FU again. That was really cool.
Yeah. Nice little twist to the ending from Big Match John.
Yeah, BMJ. I enjoyed that a lot. So
Did you like his promo though? Did you like the little? No matter what's going on in my personal life, I thank the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the treatment, not just here, but also over there. Good man. Excellent. They care, clearly.
Yeah, he did. He got a big pop, but
Yeah. And then this is at the point where I guess this match, I think everyone was still very much into it. But then we had Kalisto versus Cedric, which Cedric won with a lumbar check. This is the bit where I think I might have texted you because I was watching it both on Friday night and then obviously rewatching it again. Insert day. Yeah, insert day here because I don't know when this is coming out. I was watching this whatever you're listening to this, think of this morning. That's when I was watching it, and all these lads are just like all these sheiks. I don't know if they're actually sheiks. I think that's more
I had this conversation with my pal as well. Like, is it racist if I continue to call them sheiks just because they're dressed like that?
Yeah, I think, I don't know if it's a status thing because it's like not everyone had it, so it might be an optional thing. I don't really know how that works. But like these fucking lads just kept walking about, turning their backs.
These fucking guys, right? What I truly don't understand about this is those people in the front row were responsible for making the whole deal possible, right? Particularly on the left-hand side from the commentary booth, you had the Saudi royal family, but the hard cam was focused on the other people on the other side, which I don't think they were royal family, but they were definitely important people who were...
High-ranking.
Yeah, high-ranking government people responsible for making this deal happen. And all they wanted to do was fucking turn their back, huddle, chat... like, have absolutely no involvement in the thing whatsoever. And it's like, this is going out, and like, you're fucking paying $200 million as part of your revamping the culture and trying to show how Saudi Arabia is progressive now, and in future events may be held here. It's like, all you have done is disrespect everybody in the ring for the whole fucking thing. And I cannot get over how fucking pissed off I am at that. Because it's just retarded. It's the stupidest fucking thing.
It's the rudest thing you can do.
It's so rude. It's so ignorant. I like whatever about like cultural backgrounds and stuff like that. Nobody's going to want to go there for actual reasons beyond money. And like, I'm not like, look, if they wanted to give me $200 million to go and do the fucking midnight hour podcasting tour of that country and they all turned their backs to me, I wouldn't give a shit. That's not what I'm saying though.
Hey, I've been paid. I'm out of here.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would do anything for $200 million.
Yeah.
But like, nobody is going to actually want to do it. You're going to have to pay people lots of money to do it. So like, you can't keep propping yourself up as this new realm of progressive pop culture shit when you're just going to fucking stand there with your back turned to it and not
telling off children.
Yeah, telling off children. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Like,
or pointing other people where the vending machine is. It's like, that's someone else's job. It just felt odd.
A fella coming along with a fucking tray full of really expensive glasses that were obviously filled with water. Like, it's just, the whole fucking thing bothered me, and it really took away from the atmosphere. And
that's exactly what to me. It made me think, well, if these guys who are in the front row, if they can't be bothered to even look forward, how the fuck should I? Or why would I? It reminds me, well, to a certain extent, of like WCW shows in like 92, 93, where they would just cut to the crowd and they would just cut to a guy yawning.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe don't cut to that guy. Like, because that's when they start having plants later on Nitro. All the hot women and stuff. And WWE did it as well a lot of the times, because sometimes behind the hard camera you have some absolute stunners. Ain't no coincidence, my friend.
When are we gonna start getting some plants for WWP?
Some plant fans. That would be hilarious.
Camera pans to some really hot women with headphones on, just tuning in to our voices.
They like it, so should you. Yeah. So these guys are just walking around. Unless, okay, and maybe, I doubt this is true, but maybe.
I can't wait for you to say this so I can shut it down immediately.
Maybe it's not that offensive to just walk about while some stuff's going on over there. There you go. Maybe they think it's just like you're just watching TV at home, or you're just walking about, talking to people, TV still on. Maybe we're too prudish in the way that we watch our professional wrestling, sat there looking right at it.
I never thought of it that way.
Oh shit! I thought you were gonna. I thought that you thought that is what I was gonna say. So you didn't think that that's what I was gonna say, did you?
I thought you were gonna say. I don't know, but
take your fucking hat off and sit down.
I definitely don't think that they show appreciation to things by turning their back to it, though. Like,
Is that? Yeah, that's not really. The Man City fans do it. aren't they?
That's true, yeah,
And they are owned by
that's
kings and queens. So what do we know? It's all connected, though. Yeah, whatever. It just basically made me. Well, I guess the same with you. I mean, every time I looked at the crowd, though, in all seriousness, I was kind of like, "Fucking stop moving around."
It made my blood boil. Like there is no point. Like It's really weird because I don't know if they did that in France or somewhere. Would I be like, French people are a bunch of cunts? That's it.
Right now, French people just can't be bothered. They probably think it's procrastinating, just being sat there too still. How can you have a smoke? And how can you moan?
One of the funniest moments of this entire event for me was during the 4-man ladder match when The Miz and Samoa Joe shook hands, and my friend that I was watching it with said, "Oh look, the Sheiks are interested now. They've seen a business transaction."
To a couple of businessmen. Yeah, did you enjoy? I mean, again, this is what I mean though. Like, so we had the Cedric versus Kalisto match, which is hilarious because he was going lucha, and everyone was just like.
This match is like, listen, all right, I'm not really into cruiserweight wrestling. That's cool if people are, right? That's fine. But cruiserweight wrestling has a lot of really good things to it. You know what those don't involve? Fucking sleeper holds and bear hugs and various other fucking shit that they do. This is a 10-minute match. This should be a 4-minute match. Like,
it's always awkward when you get like a big guy wrestling a slightly smaller cruiserweight guy, because then it just becomes like the heavyweight style versus the featherweight style. Yeah, and that's what we had here, isn't it?
Complete bullshit. And just not enjoyable to watch at all. So, like, the stuff they did was cool. Like, the match was definitely saved by its spots, which were fantastic and very well executed and stuff. But nothing. It's very hard for anybody to win me over after I've seen 2 minutes of sleeper holes and shit. I'm just not into that at all. So,
hang on a minute. STFU, the match before, actually, well, that's a finisher. I guess you could say that.
That's a finisher, and and as badly executed as that was as well, which it is, because John Cena did not do that move. Triple H did everything he could to push his neck into the arm. Like, Triple H is like such a pro. He was trying so hard to sell that move effectively and stuff.
Shouldn't have to be like that. Where you put yourself in the chokehold.
No, the veteran, one of the greatest of all time, should be able to execute that move to an adequate degree, but sadly he cannot. So there you have it.
Then we have Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy, who won the tag team titles from Sheamus and Cesaro, in what I'd say is a pretty standard heel face match with the antics of Matt and Bray. Yeah, now I like these lads quite a lot.
Yeah.
I think I'm a huge fan of Bray Wyatt's character changes, which aren't, because if you look at it, like, he could still be a cunt at any moment.
Yeah.
Like, he's not heelish at all, but he's like, he hasn't changed their mannerisms. He kind of just does the wonderful thing now. He seems quite happy to be around Matt.
I think he should change his appearance a tiny bit.
Have the blonde streak.
Yeah, I agree with that. Get rid of the dreads. Stop with the meat cleaver apron thing.
Yeah.
Just be a bit more not like, don't like ruin yourself for comedic gains, but like just change it a little bit. There is nothing funnier to me than Matt Hardy's thing.
It's amazing.
I like, me and my friend were just in stitches laughing the whole way through this entrance. Like, it's incredible. And the fact that they also include the Bray entrance, so everyone puts their phones up and stuff. That's also just super.
That
cool.
looks great.
Yeah. Not a whole lot else to say. Like, the match itself was short and sweet, like a lot of these are, and it was good. Like, I would, I'd watch that again. It was decent. And
a couple of things fucked me off though,
but
they weren't in the match. There was some commentary because Byron kept being like, "I don't understand how they're friends," and Corey and Cole were like, "Well, he threw him in the lake of reincarnation." I mean, obviously this sounds mad out of context, but he's in the company. Like, he saw that. There's like,
I know. I actually know why he does that. He's trying to be us.
Is he planting the seed?
Yeah, like,
them?
No, not quite that. But he's just being like, he's being the one that's like, "Look, guys, this is stupid." And then the other two are like, "No," like the other two are keeping kayfabe alive, and he's basically like making them explain the storyline. It's the old, like, fucking, I don't know, I forget. That comes from like Sesame Street or some shit, where like Big Bird would express confusion at everything, and then everyone else would have to explain it to him, and that's how they told the story as it went. And that's pretty
Byron
much what
Big Bird.
Byron is like, this is stupid, I don't get it. And they're like, well, he threw him into the lake of reincarnation after his ride on the mower of lawns, and you know, Vanguard won all of that shit.
Yeah,
that's how.
De Niro making a little appearance, like, what's there not to get, bruh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
speaking of Brother Nero, oh no, sorry, you've got one.
And then Michael Cole says that Senior Benjamin is trolling him, which is ironic because I remember not that long ago Michael Cole calling Josh Matthews a faggot on Twitter.
Wow, really? Yeah. Michael Cole dropped an F-bomb.
Michael Cole, every now and then, there's that famous clip where he's like on that radio show and he's like, hey, listen here, fuckhead. I do a show 300 billion days a week, a year, and you can fuck off. Like, they're like Howard Stern, him and Taz.
Wow.
It's the funniest thing. Hang on. Let's see if I can find... Because I remember this. This is probably a little while ago now. But he called Josh Matthews a faggot or something along those lines. And he just, like, disappeared off of Twitter. And this is, like, 2011, maybe? Hang on. Josh
We all know that I hate Michael Cole. So if I have any more ammo to throw his way, like, I will take it. I will bury that man.
May 26, 2011. Breaking news. Michael Cole tweets gay slur to Josh Matthews.
Wow. What a fuckhead.
Called him a faggot. What? On such a fucking public thing as well.
What's weird about that is that, like, you know, Michael, like 1998 Michael Cole, if you look at him, you know, you're definitely not thinking that he's a straight man. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I mean...
Yeah, no. He was a little... But The Rock always like, you little bit come see, come sa.
For him to imply some kind of heterosexual superiority over anyone is pretty weird when, at best, he was a metrosexual back in the day. So,
yeah. He was rocking the frosted tips, though, wasn't he?
Certainly was. He looked like a member of NSYNC, except a perverted member of
Yeah, like he just looked all disheveled and sad.
Yeah, had no talent, but was just there so he could roofie women. Anyway, next man.
But yeah, like the others did. No, he I remember this because like he came out. He was told to go to a company sponsored. You know those little things they do, those training days they do. The I can't remember what they're called. They have like an official name. So the Starbucks employees just had it because at that time they tried to arrest those two black lads for being black.
Yeah, diversity training.
Yeah. Gay training, diversity training, you know, whatever, workshop. And yeah, he went to that. And I thought he was never back on Twitter. I never thought of typing the words Michael Cole into Twitter my entire life.
That's good. That's a strength.
I think I made it quite far like that.
Yeah, it's a positive character trait for sure.
Yes, it's only fair that Senior Benjamin is trolling him and hopefully sending him screenshots of him being a little homophobe. I like the fact that Matt and Bray are quite happy when they won the belts as well. They did that thing where they both had the title up and they just like fucking forehead to forehead.
Yeah, it was cool, yeah.
So yeah, it's nice to know. I actually watched this match a little bit on Friday with one of my friends and he said there's no way the Bar are winning. They lost to a 10-year-old. Now, stuff like that. Us wrestling fans, you have to kind of overlook it and shit. But for people who are watching every now and then, that is true. They're going to be like, how's he going to win? How are those two going to win? They lost to a child. So
it was the child and the Eater of Worlds. No, it wasn't. The Monster Among Men, not the Eater of Worlds.
But it's still that thing where it's just like, come on. David Arquette won the world title. He technically didn't do a move, but it was a bit like, I'm not comparing a 10-year-old child to David Arquette, but it was just... Basically, it's hard to explain to someone who, like, watches it in fringes. It's a very good point, because he's like, does that mean anyone can just go up and do it? Technically. Yeah. Anyone can just be called into the crowd and go, yeah, you. Yeah, okay,
I think that might be a good little, because we were obviously talking recently about the weird ways that WWE is treading along the same lines as WCW. Like, a lot of people will see something they don't like and say, that's WCW bad, but they are obviously being really dramatic. Because very few things are. But,
go and watch it. Yeah,
that'd be a good like little side episode for us to do. Ways in which WWE behaves like WCW.
They do that in the Death of WCW book, the updated version. They do a.
Stole my idea.
No, we can get much more deeper into it though.
But yeah, but I can't believe they built a time machine and just listened to me say that now and then went back in time and did it.
Brian Alvarez and wrestle crap. No, yeah, he does one, for example, which basically it's you get the book pretty much the same, the 10th year anniversary version, but then they'll say lesson not learnt, and they'll go.
Cool.
So it'll be a specific storyline. It won't be like every single show on Nitro and Thunder where they've gone, and this WWE went on to do 6 years later. Like, obviously, you could be doing that forever. So there's obviously ones you can still spot out. But a example that they had on that was when Hogan sees Warrior in front of the mirror in '98, and no one else can see him, but we can see him. Do you remember this?
No.
So Hulk Hogan's looking at the mirror. You get a hologram of the Ultimate Warrior, right? So he's like behind him, and Hogan's like, Eric! Eric's like, I can't see anything. But we could see it. Which means that the only crazy person in that situation was Eric Bischoff. Because he was the only one who couldn't see Warrior. If that makes sense. And then they went, it's really weird, because everyone's like, because Hogan's like, oh my god, and Bischoff's like, what's wrong with you? You're crazy. It's like, nah, mate, you're fucking crazy. Because you can't see what everyone else can see.
Yeah.
And then they obviously went lesson learned, and they had that time where The Undertaker possessed Josh Matthews.
Yeah. That's what I thought it was going to be.
Enjoy the ride, Randy. And he's like, he's all back to normal. When Randy Orton would look at his dad, and he's all bleeding, and then he looks back on him, he's completely normal. It's like, hang on a minute, we just saw that too.
They also had a really weird thing with Seth Rollins and Corporate Kane and Demon Kane, and like nobody else would acknowledge that they were two different people, that they were the same person. And Rollins was like, "What the fuck? This guy was just there," and Triple H and everyone's like, "What? What are you talking about, idiot? This is Corporate Kane. Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's a friendly guy."
Yeah, and while you're at it, this is Corporate Hunter. I was never in DX. Yeah. I never invaded in the tank as some other guy. But yeah, we should definitely look into that, because I'm sure there's been plenty of things that legitimately people go, WCW did that, that's so fucking dumb. And then you'll find out a couple of years later the Fed do it. As you said, the WrestleMania finish of the whole, like, let's not tell anyone, let's fucking keep it to ourselves, blah, 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 blah.
The stuff they're doing behind the scenes is like what WCW did behind the scenes. And that's something that we need to look at, I think. But
I love you said it as if we're like, we need to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah,
now.
we need to
It's getting silly. Come on, right?
Yeah, we need to put on the gloves and like seriously, knuckle down on this.
Get the task force. Like, let's have a look here. What's going on? But you're right. Like, working the boys is not the best way, because WCW did this shit all the time to the point where, like, when it was being sold, no one thought it was being sold.
Exactly, yeah, and it's stupid, and everyone gets confused, and just crossed wires, and just it just leads to inertia. Is the only place that it can go. But we'll probably talk about that with the main event for this, not the Rumble.
Yes.
If anyone wants to hear our thoughts on the 50-man Rumble, you can fucking close out of your browser right now.
We'll set up a Patreon, and we can get
bonus content as we talk about that Rumble. I think it would cost me about $600 or something like that to get me to watch that whole thing again. So
we will do a $5 per entrant. Okay.
Oh, nice.
So each time we get a $5, we'll talk about the next section or the next entrant.
That's a good idea.
Which makes 1 and 2 really fucking horrible, because it's just like, and then Bryan came out, and then Ziggler's song half played. Did you notice that as well later on? Ziggler's just standing there to no music.
Yeah.
And then they hit it, and it was really awkward.
He walked out, and he was like, he had his arms in the air and stuff, and then, I'm here to show the world. Anyway, this fucking next match, Jeff against Jinder, Brother Nero against the modern day Maharaja. This was probably the worst match I've seen on a pay-per-view in a long time.
Yeah, probably one of Jeff's worst, maybe apart from the other one with Sting.
Yeah.
Because that's the reference point of everything bad to do with Jeff. Is like,
and yet I would rather watch that again than watch the Jinder one again.
Yeah. Because obviously we share we both look after the YouTube account. It's always hilarious going in there and being like, oh, he's watching that match too. That's good to know.
You've seen that? Yeah, I've watched that match like 20 times.
Because whenever that comes up on the history, I'll go and watch it again as well.
Yeah, it's so funny. I can never, like, if that's in the related links, I'm clicking it and watching it.
Yeah,
and I always find something new where I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm always interested in the bit when Eric Bischoff is talking to Sting, and he's doing the handshake thing. He's actually telling him, like, listen, Jeff's blah, blah, blah. I want you, like, what did he actually say? Because technically, that's also a lesson on how to book shit on the fly, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. He must have said, like, listen, this guy is blasted.
Yeah. Not too sure why we allowed him to even come out here, but...
We're not sure what class of drugs this guy is even on, because they did a DNA test.
They did a DNA test.
I've had too many beers. I can't do the fucking tangents anymore.
Sobriety test. Jeff Hardy test. Whatever.
Yeah, I need a Jeff Hardy test, the state that I'm in at the moment. So the whisper in the wind here is truly, the most sublime thing that's happened on television in quite some time.
I still think Ginger looks quite scary.
You just called him Ginger, and now I'm imagining him as a ginger man. That is a scary look.
The modern day Maharaja, Sheamus, and he comes out like, what the fuck? Your boy Ginger there. I guarantee you Booker T's probably called him Ginger once or twice. Booker T's that sort of guy. You should have seen the catering, dog. Fucking says that when they go back to later on with Byron. But anyways, I actually had a weird thing when I was watching this match. I had an out-of-body experience. I was there. I was watching. But my mind wasn't watching. So I looked at, I'll be honest, I didn't make much of the main event, but that's for its time. But I don't remember too much about this match besides the botch.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, no, I don't think anything else happened in the match. I think it was just the botch. What's just amazing about this is the contract. The AJ Styles Shinsuke match. I think Shinsuke went to put him into an armbar. No, he went to do a roll-up pin, and it was so clearly botched. And he thought instinctively, in under a second, to put him in the armbar instead.
Yeah.
And in contrast to Jinder, who's like, shit, and just falls on his back. It's just,
I guess I'll just take the move then.
Yeah, just go over an elbow drop, call an audible, like fucking have a pair of balls. What are you doing in the ring if you can't fucking do this shit? Like, how has he been given 2 fucking title runs if he can't do simple shit like that? But anyway, terrible, terrible match. And
he's not great, and we all know it.
Yeah.
So, so hopefully they'll keep these two separated, but Jinder needs to give up some mass for some fucking, I don't know, everything else. Because I just, here's another WCW reference. Do you remember that tag team Chronic?
Yeah.
Look up those lads now. Like, if anyone's ever gone on a network and fancy some 99, 2000 WCW or WWF in the year after, look how jacked those guys are. They can barely move, and shock of all shocks, I'm pretty sure they're both dead. Heart attacks in the age of 40. But Jinder looks scary. You can't say he's on roids, but you can say that his back is still very full of acne. Backney, if you will.
Yeah, the backney thing. I don't know, dude. They have to be testing that shit. I know, 2 of my my cousin and one of my closest friends, they're both personal trainers, and I've asked them about this shit. Can you look like that without roids? And they both say that you can.
I'm guessing you can also get round tests, as has been proven by,
especially in the Fed, with Brock and stuff,
Yeah, you can get around, though. You can go on an on-cycle, off-cycle, maybe get a... I don't know, I'm just saying that, him looking that big, yes, it's a very good sight, but I think when you look that big, you jeopardize some of the in-ring skills. So it's hard for me to see him improve, because if you look at him, his fucking knees and his fucking shoulders and his back, they all look like they're going to give way because of so much mass.
Yeah, it is just ridiculous.
It's not on. Because you can be, in mad good shape like Finn Balor is and not look massive. Because you're going for more cardio and more, rolling around in the ring so your fucking neck doesn't break. Where he's just I've seen some of the videos of his workouts. They are very impressive if you're into that,
Well, he's the modern day Maharaja,
There you go. But, we'll see what they do with these two. It's nice to have Jeff on SmackDown. I think he'll benefit being there. more good wrestlers there. Shinsuke. Shinsuke versus Jeff, AJ versus Jeff, Bryan versus Jeff. Like, these are matches you couldn't have thought of about a year ago.
Jeff versus Randy is pretty good too.
Yeah, from their previous as well. Yeah,
we'll have some of that.
And then now then, this is where we get to the weird bit.
This is the business end of the pay-per-view.
Yeah. The letters P and R flash across the screen. For those who didn't see it, it's like a subliminal thing. PR. And first of all, we have a recap, which I didn't give a shit about because I just saw it. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, why do they need Byron up? Oh, because Renee's not working.
Yeah.
Because she's a woman. Oh God.
Yeah.
So we get like these cuts to like these so we get a couple of women talking and these VTs. We get
this fucking shit, man. I actually couldn't fucking watch this shit.
She couldn't be happier.
The woman, said, yeah, and she's like, and like, geez, it's not my fucking place to tell a woman how she should be happy and how, especially another culture, like that's their culture and that's fine. But this is so obviously lies and propaganda. Yeah, I don't know.
Look at them. They're driving. They fucking love it. It's like, do they though? Because you're still.
This is the point I wanted to make to Meltzer. I was actually so tempted to just tweet him saying, "Oh yeah, 2014 or whatever it was. Black people given the right to drive." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
exactly. It's just. Oh, I don't know. Like,
bizarre. Because they had this lady who seemed to be talking at like she's like a sort of conference looking thing. She had a wall behind them, and then you had these sort of documentary looking shots where they had the other lady actually sat in the studio, and she said she couldn't be happier. Now, of course, I wonder, her whole life probably wasn't allowed to do much besides like being a person in a house or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, being allowed to drive and being allowed to.
Yeah, look, it's progress.
Go to the cinema, sitting next to men is progress. It's just, but the problem with that is they're presenting that to us like we only just got that too, like as if to say, oh look, they're only about 6 to 10 years behind, and they're not. They're about 20 years, 40 years behind in terms of. Well, probably more than that if you take each.
150 years behind.
Yeah, if you look at an individual. Lack of freedom for certain types of people, trans and all that. Like on that section, they'd be fucking way behind. Because also we are not as nice as you'd think sometimes to people like that too.
That's
so true. It's not like we don't have our fucking homework to do as well and treat everyone equally with respect. There you go. There's my PR. And but yeah, like so the way they're presenting that to us living in the Western world, because obviously it wasn't for them, because they know what they're doing. They know their own laws. They know the fact that women can now drive and go to the cinema. So
yeah.
So to me, it just feels like they're kind of going, hey, look, it's not so bad over here.
That's exactly it. They're saying
if you're this type of person.
Yeah.
So.
They're saying, hey, listen, we know there's no women's matches, but they can drive a car.
Yeah, like if they wanted to be like, hey guys, there is a cultural revolution. It's like the '60s up in here. There's a guy doing a burlesque show dressed as a woman over there. There's a fucking one of the kings has just come out as trans, and he's now doing the Jenner thing. Now he's going to become a chick now. Like if they're like dropping shit like that, you'd be like, holy shit, these people have fucking changed, and more power to them. And no, they're just going like, you can now bring your missus to the cinema. Who the fuck in England, in Australia, in fucking, even Ghana. I don't know what the fuck the laws are in Ghana, but I'm pretty sure you can probably sit somewhere with a lady, or Nigeria. Who the fuck's going to be there and be like, oh, that's good. Yeah, that's great. I mean, they really are ahead of us. No, they're not. And that's what feels weird about it. It's like I'm sure that was paid for by them. Mm-hmm. All that was missing was like the NWO style thing, when they go
this promotion. Yeah.
Yes, it's very WCW heavy. This one for some reason. This broadcast is paid for by the NWO.
We just wish WCW was still around. That's
know. It's a sore wound that, for some reason, in 2018 just comes roaring back.
Yeah, it's never been more prevalent than it is now.
Yeah, I want Nash, I want DDP, but yeah, I don't know. It just hit a sore note for me because this is fake news. It literally is fake news.
Yeah, Paul Joseph Watson would be turning in his grave if he were dead and told this.
Yeah. He is brain dead, I guess.
Yeah.
But
dead inside.
Yeah, exactly. So Booker T talks about the catering. The catering, and Lawler's like, I had food from 7 a.m. That's not King's voice.
No, he has one more testicle than that. Just go one testicle up.
Oh yeah, because he's now in his fucking 70s. He's like, that's Booker T again. Damn. They just kept banging on about the food, and Lawler said he ate from 7 to 7, and JR's like, oh yes, I have nothing to say on this.
Yeah.
Much like at WrestleMania, I don't know what the fuck
I
I'm supposed
could not
to do
give
here,
a fuck about any of this shit.
Folks, I'd just like to say that JR's BBQ has struck a deal with Saudi Arabia, and that's pretty much why I'm here.
They have no barbecue sauce, and Jerry Lawler is like, people can talk about the freedoms of women, but I've been abusing women on TV for years. All right.
There you go. So and that's why we have to go back away. So then we had the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Usos.
Squash
Bludgeons
match.
win.
Yeah.
Move on.
Then we have a 4-man ladder match, which was pretty good, and I really enjoyed the ending of this match. What did you think?
I thought that, when the Miz is in the ring on his own, right? And they're like, yeah, he can climb up and win, blah, 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 blah. Like, when has there ever been a ladder match in recent times that hasn't ended in a weird flurry, a.k.a. people and one knocks them up? It's never been like one guy does a move off the top, just gets up, walks up to it, and pulls it down. Like, there's always been like... So, I'm beginning to not enjoy ladder matches because I know that it's like... once you see the formula... It's very hard to unsee it.
But someone else launching in and then climbing up really quickly and grabbing it, I thought that was refreshing.
Yeah, as opposed to just the two going up and then one pushing the other. Yeah, that was awesome. Naturally, that was awesome. But what I mean is the formula goes something along the lines of 4 guys start, every now and then one gets taken out, then it's a one-on-one, and then someone else comes in, it's another one-on-one, and they'll do 3 moves on the ladder, maybe 4 each, their signature moves, then off the top of the ladder, and then they climb really slowly. And the only difference for that is that the fucking finish looked great. I actually wanted Finn to win because I think he's coming up short. It's him and Roman Reigns who just keep fucking losing. It sucks. But I thought that was probably the second best match on the card.
I gotta tell you, if that
there is no best match on the card.
Yeah, that too. But if that match and the predictability of ladder matches is making you jaded towards ladder matches, I got some real bad news about the Royal Rumble.
I got some bad news.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
I'm injured again.
Yeah. I jumped out at the Miz and he didn't catch me. So I'm out for 6 months. Fucking
Jack Swagger just booted me in the shoulder so hard it's torn it off his body. I'm afraid I got the gavel. So Finn was bleeding. Did you see that?
He was, bleeding from his eye.
What lad?
He was what's the word here? He was preempting the oncoming Royal Rumble. He was shocked.
Yes, he was. It's a shame that he didn't win, but he can still not win the title at Backlash when the Miz takes on Seth Rollins.
Yeah, that's
Miz
right.
is on SmackDown. Okay. And Joe takes on Roman as well. Now we get some bullshit about a tryout, right?
This fucking shit.
Awful.
Do we have to talk about this?
Apparently.
So apparently Iran and Saudi Arabia hate each other. That's news to me. I don't get what the beef is there. I know that Iranians are Persians and Saudi Arabians are Arabs. Like maybe there's some beef there, historical beef. I don't know. I didn't understand the context of it. Obviously the show is not made just for me. That's fine. I don't give a shit
Clear
about
that up.
the Davari brothers, to be honest.
Where the fuck has Sean Davari been?
Shaving his head.
Because I saw him in TNA, and I think I said this to you before. He was in TNA, and he had a fucking theme song that started off with the noise of a plane hitting a building.
Oh, you are not fucking serious. Which is ironic, right? Because
out.
it was the Saudi government who paid for 9/11.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with it. Yeah, and oh god, imagine if he said that when he comes out.
That would have been fantastic.
Like,
No, but
in my hand, I have the 28 pages
Jesus.
that have been.
And John Cena comes out and he's like, no, sorry, AJ Styles would be the man for this job. Comes out and he's like, I have the 9/11 Commission report. Not a word of this damn thing is true, and the Earth is flat.
Can some of y'all Saudi Arabians tell me what did you do on 9/11? By the end, the Earth's flat. See ya, and just walks off.
Man, this has been a far out episode. There's been very little wrestling talk here.
Yeah. Give a tangent warning to everyone because it's full of tangents. So yeah, they show footage from these tryouts, and right, I didn't know this.
Gonna say they show footage from 9/11.
And they go, no. They show footage from these tryouts, right? And did you know that being a wrestler is really hard? Like, really, really hard.
Nah, I thought
because if you didn't, Triple H would have told you.
Oh, yeah. He's famous for that, though. He's like...
Yeah.
He loves going... He's no Bob Holly when it comes to hurting young people.
He's like going around giving head trauma to, like, these poor Saudi Arabian people. But he's like, this business is hard. You're going to have to fight and get back up and fight again. And he had fucking A-Train. Fucking Lord Tensai over there as well, and he's like, if you're tired, well, work harder, because it's really hard. Okay.
I didn't even have time to shave my back while I was a wrestler.
Yeah. I once tried to tattoo Val Venus's Mickey on Raw. That's how hard I've been working to get where I am.
Man, do you remember when Kai and Tai threatened to chop Val Venus's penis off with a samurai sword?
Not only do I remember that, I am literally on that exact episode when on the network. Fucking choppy your pee-pee.
Yeah,
and
choppy.
It's revealed that Wayne something Bobbitt, the dude who had his dick cut off in real life, he saved Val Venus at the last minute. That was the celebrity level in '98, by the way.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, let's not forget David Arquette being a world champion.
Crazy days. But anyways, yeah, so we have a dude from Mecca called Nasser, another one from somewhere else. Not going to pretend I even noticed what he said.
One of them is from Jeddah, I know that much.
Yeah, the last one's for Jeddah, which is Faisal, and then the other one, Mansour.
Faisal was very bad. Wasn't he the guy who the only thing he did was throw Daivari over the top rope?
And the other one spoke really good English. The lad with the long hair.
That dude, could legit be a star. He probably won't be, obviously, but the way he spoke, it was like this dude gets it straight away. Like he just has that thing. His finishing move is the push, which leaves a lot to be desired. The other guy did the body slam, and then the other guy pushed him over the top rope, and it was a pretty fucking cringe-inducing segment, really.
Yeah, what'd you make of that Bruce Pritchard show? They advertised for that. The podcast? Did you miss it?
I saw. Yeah. My take was great. Another thing I'm not gonna ever watch.
There we go. Shinsuke versus AJ.
What did you think of it? The same?
Well, he's acting like he's in the ad. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna look at Hulk Hogan and Macho Man into the ring and out of the ring." So they're not gonna actually look in at it properly, though, are they?
No, you're not gonna be talking about the rumors and the cocaine and the
him on the network. Well, I heard that Randy Savage was banging Hogan. Yeah. All right.
No, I mean you can say it, but we don't necessarily believe here on I don't know. I mean this.
Like, how the fuck were they gonna put that on the network? I heard the reason he was. Oh no. So it's just gonna be the same thing that they do when they do the death of WCW, as in the WWE sponsored versions, where it's just we'll just alter history and say they were complete shit, and
We'll bring Sting onto WrestleMania and bury him, and then have his best friends, famously the NWO, as if he didn't spend his entire career fighting them.
Yeah, and then the funniest thing,
Wolfpack, obviously.
and the funniest thing is like Triple H was the architect of the Attitude Era, and then you have Sting come out. And he's like, "This isn't really about WCW."
Yeah,
the video package, like, no, it is.
Yeah, it's all it is. Yeah,
I was in a bunker for 14 years.
Yeah,
and only now did I come out to stop you. Not during the McMahon-Helmsley era, not during the early version of the Authority, like the 2012 version with like J&J and fucking Randy Orton and stuff. No, now I'm gonna do it in 2015. But yeah, so do you like Shinsuke's heel theme?
Yeah, it's sick.
I think it's fucking awesome. I actually listened to it the other day, and I like everything about it. I love the fact that like it links to WrestleMania as well when they had the girl playing the guitar, and they had the new song, and it starts off like a music video as well because he is the artist and all that stuff. And the girl who plays the violin, she is damn fine.
It's a proper heel theme.
Yeah. Oh, I need to look up the lyrics of what the dude's saying in Japanese as well. Yeah. But apparently Shinsuke does not speak English.
He says one of the lyrics in the chorus is "I did it all for the nookie."
So you can take that little cookie
and you can stick it up your yes.
I think he says something along the lines of "just one more fight and I'll be history."
Hey, listen, that's the best song of all time. From the best promo of all time. By the best
better
band
at Japanese.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's a good song, it's a good promo, but did you ever hear in Japanese? No, the girl who plays the violin is very hot, and I want that, and I've said that twice, I want that to be on the record books. She is good looking. And,
is her name Lindsay Sterling?
Delete.
That's the only woman I know that plays a violin, so.
I'm gonna not be sort of offensive, but because she's Japanese, I imagine her first name is definitely not Lindsay.
Wow, that's racist.
Oh, I've done it now. But yeah, so they've kind of
done it now. Sorry, I'll stop. I'll stop.
The lead singer's face looks weird when he's singing. He looks like he's not singing. He looks like he's just having he's constipated. But he sounds great. And yeah, so the build up here is low blow.
Yeah, this is like this whole thing was done very Dick Payne. The whole thing's about Dick Payne.
It's like the Kane and Jericho. You think this is about coffee? You just have AJ go, you think this is about Dick Payne? What is this about then? Because why does AJ have to even defend the title against him? I'm just being a dick right now. I know I want to see these two keep going.
Because why would you? That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think they did a great job of showing the bad blood and the betrayal and the fact that this is more than the belt. This is a blood feud about the belt now, and I don't know. It's super cool, and it coincides really well with Shinsuke's heel turn and his heel music and all. So it's real like this is a new Shinsuke. This is an entirely different man. And he's vicious and determined, and he just wants to fight. And AJ Styles is like the really cool, nice, God-fearing American Bible-bashing man who has just been betrayed by a friend, and he's out for revenge because that's the American way. So
betrayed by a Japanese man, no less.
Yeah,
the connotations there.
When historically those two nations have gotten along very well.
Yeah, and the nation they're on as well, so it's all good.
Yeah.
So I actually, when I watched this match, I actively turned off looking at the crowd. I was like, I'm just gonna watch these lads like just really, really closely see what they're doing, and I really enjoyed the match actually. I thought it was better than Mania, shorter than Mania, obviously.
Way better.
Yeah, because it wasn't 50-50 booking. It was like one of them definitely has a style because Shinsuke was doing those fucking nasty kicks to the head as well, just like he did at Mania.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both have clear paths as to like what they stand for and what they like. I mean, I'm not going to talk to you move by move. These recent shows aren't about that normally. We kind of just tend to go for a vibe of everything. This is probably match of the night in my opinion.
Easily, yeah.
Yeah. Low blow, and then we get the double count out.
Yeah, which is a little bit weak, but at the same time, it's cool that you don't see that often, and now we have it, and it's like, they don't have to
the
have any
fuck finish.
shenanigans. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe next time they'll have a no countouts Extreme Rules match. And I hope that at the end of all this, Shinsuke is champion, because it would be awesome to have a heel champion on SmackDown. I think it's been a while since they had one.
Bray?
Well, Jinder.
Jinder.
Bray.
Obviously,
Jinder Bray, all within the last 2 years. So maybe I've been wrong. But they tend to they obviously they had Jinder at this point last year, and he held on until November. Then AJ's got it, so AJ's had a fair amount of time as well. So now we go for the build up for the casket match.
Allow me to just say
Aiden English was awesome.
Yeah, he was.
Check. Rusev was awesome. Check. Undertaker was old. Check. Michael Cole said, much like Emmanuel, like he's never looked any better. Like, why can he just say he hasn't looked this good since before he lost his streak?
Wait, yeah. He hasn't looked this good since 2000. Oh, dude, it's fucking retarded. Like
2014. Just say, like, listen, if he was the way he is now, if he fought Lesnar now, maybe he wouldn't lose the streak. Or if he fought Roman now, maybe he wouldn't lose the streak. Because they're clearly trying to give him a push, because they're going, he's as good as ever. Why is he hardly ever there then?
Yeah.
If he's his best, he may be the best I ever seen him. Even when he was in his 20s, 30s, and 40s.
Why are his legs dangling from his limp body? It's just sad looking at the man. His hair is just the hair of an old man.
Looks like Matt Hardy's hair, except that Matt Hardy's is on purpose like that.
Yeah.
All wispy. And also, have you noticed, like, I think, listen, I don't want to attack a man's appearance just because he's old. But it's when they put him over as, like, he looks great.
Absolutely, yeah. Dude, like...
Then it draws attention.
Like, stop acting like he's not old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all we're asking here.
It's like when Hogan came back in 2002 and they're like, he looks as good as 84. Well, he doesn't.
But he looked closer to Hogan 84 than Undertaker here looks to Undertaker 2010. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah, like he's had clearly like all of the madness, all the ring stuff. He didn't madness outside caught up to him. But like, so he has this weird thing in his chest where like his fucking boobs are like spreading apart. Have you noticed this?
Yeah, it's Jericho kind of has it too, but it's less obvious. No, Jericho, like, it looks like his chest has caved in. Kofi Kingston actually has it too.
Yeah. Is that just because you work out that part of your body too much and it's just a muscle? I have no idea.
I don't know, because Kofi's in very good shape. Like, Jericho and Taker both having it, you could put it down to just the result of longevity in the, know. But Kofi having it too, I don't know. It must be something else.
Yeah, weird. So he goes through his, like, greatest hits, and, so obviously, when I was watching this, I was instructed to look at a certain tombstone, and I did, and what the fuck was that? Like, did he actually drop him on his head, or did he, like, drop him on his knees and just bounce him forward?
He kind of dropped on his knees, and as he did that, the canvas bounced, but, like, end result is Aiden English's head fucking smacks off that canvas.
That is scary. That is, the reason why he started doing the last ride was because Tombstone was banned, and Tombstone's pile drivers in general, I should say, were banned. But maybe it's time to not do it anymore. Because obviously, to be fair, Eddie English is like a tall. He's not skinny, but he's a very wiry guy. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's a bit like Big Cass, where he's just like huge but not that wide. But not stringy but not that wide. But like that looked scary, and that looked like it was the mat and all that. But like, surely he can't be dropping tombstones anymore to like taller people.
Let's just not have him in the ring again in a match.
Like,
honestly, who fucking wants to see it? It's not good. Like, it's not like, it's barely nostalgic because he looks so far removed from the dead man anyway. Like, it's fucking ridiculous that he's You know, like the
let
Cena
him ride
thing
off
was
into
fine.
the sunset.
Yeah, like fucking just let him do that. Like
It's over.
Yeah. Oh man, it's obviously that was part of the fucking money that they got for the thing that they wanted to have a big star like that there. But it's just like, you know, he's either gonna hurt someone or he's gonna get seriously hurt. Like it's just fucking stupid. And
Yeah.
like
We don't need it, and you don't want to see your heroes,
yeah, exactly.
die before your eyes.
You don't want them to live long enough that they become the villain.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Case in point, Undertaker.
Yeah.
So so he goes away, and they kind of go, oh, he's never been this good, blah, 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 a bunch of bullshit. But at the same time, so go on, Undertaker, let's have it. Let's see you go 1-on-1 with AJ then. Let's fucking do it. Let's see you versus Shinsuke Nakamura. You just get your fucking head kicked in.
Let's see you versus Brock again.
yeah, go on. Let's have it. Up next we have the main event.
Yeah.
Well, it is the main event to me because the other matches is house matches.
From here on out, we're not acknowledging the Rumble exists, I think.
I'm just going to talk you through the points I made about this match. Suplex, spear, suplex, gloves off, spear, F5, spear, Superman punch, spear, F5, and off the cage. That's probably not in the right sequence, but if you probably take every single one of those, it's like they'll fit into a section of the match.
We also saw Roman using a powerbomb, which was one of the few things about the match I actually did enjoy. This was just straight up bad. I can't believe they did the same fucking thing again. I cannot believe they fucked it up again. Like I don't fucking know what I think they've given up on Reigns. I don't think
they've doubled down on their fuck up.
Yeah, they have. No, I honestly think they're done with Roman Reigns. I think his push is over. The whole idea of him being a super face guy, I think that's over. I don't think they're going to pursue any of that shit again. He's definitely not going to be going near the title anytime soon. I don't know who's going to take it from Brock, but it's not going to be Roman. I don't know.
And thus proved Joe right. Joe was like just talking shit about him for like a whole week before he went to SmackDown. He was like, "Listen, you're gonna lose, and when you come back, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you as well."
Yeah.
It's just like he went on to lose.
But
so
they need.
What does that prove?
He needs to be turned heel now, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't have I get right. They fucking called an audible, not them two, but Vince obviously decided last minute at WrestleMania, you're not being the champ.
It's over.
Yeah. So once they did that, right, that's all it takes. If they're not gonna, like, people are saying like, oh, just give them the belt in Saudi Arabia, people will cheer. Listen, you can't have your fucking champion only having the belt when it's dependent on what fucking city that they're in. Like, they're not gonna do that. It's bullshit.
Country, yeah.
Yeah, what country? Yeah, like, fuck off. Like, what are you gonna have him fucking only defend the title on tours in Lebanon and fucking places like that? It's ridiculous.
Yemen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Iran.
Yeah,
but no, he has to be turned heel. Or at the very least, that ambiguous tweener thing that he had before, which I thought was pretty good, or else back in the Shield. There's nothing else for him.
Go for the tag titles with Seth. Like, just be somewhere where the whole spotlight's not on you, and we can figure out what it is that we want you to be. Because he doesn't have to turn heel like tomorrow, next week. Like, they have to just put him in a long-term storyline that either gets him more over at the end of it, or turns him heel. Because it feels very stop-start right now, doesn't it? Yeah. He gets title shots, he maybe wins or loses, but he doesn't really fundamentally change, and his motivations don't change.
The most striking thing is that he would be a fucking incredible heel.
Someone put up a heel promo that he did for NXT.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Like early NXT.
Really.
He's got the watch, and he's like, listen, this is...
He's so charismatic there.
Time. Yeah. Well, he's like the best version... the worst version of himself, but the best version for heel heat. And I reckon if... I do still think... And I can't remember if I touched it on this when we did the Mania review, but I do still think it was along the lines with something I said then, which was... I think if Lesnar had left, they would have turned him heel.
Yeah.
And joined him up with Heyman in a sort of WrestleMania 17 sort of finish. But I think that because Lesnar stayed on, they were like, right, you're losing because like this dude is now money and he's staying around, so he's just going to be built again as like a fucking machine. Because he's held the title for a year and
a month.
4 weeks, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a year and a month and a year. So, and this could go on indefinitely until next
This is
WrestleMania.
fucking stupid because we're not even gonna fucking see Brock again until SummerSlam.
Exactly. So that's what I mean. It could go indefinitely. I think that, and this spoils the next match, but it may be that he does lose the belt at SummerSlam, but they build up Braun instead, because Braun is babyface now. No two ways about it.
I'd be happy with Braun taking the belt. And I'd fucking love a face Braun versus heel Roman. I'd love a heel Roman because the dude is fucking built for it. Like, you saw him in the ring in that cage match when he pulled out the chair. The first thing I thought when he did that is this guy would be an incredible heel, and he would be. And I think even his biggest haters right now, because people have all of their arguments are wrong, and they've been proven wrong time and time again, that he's bad on the mic, not true. He's bad in the ring, not true, etc., etc., etc. All they have to do is just that little turn, little switch to heel, and then Roman will be amazing. Pretty much. So,
or at least give it a fucking chance when he does go heel. Like, he might not be the greatest heel of all time, but the way he's so unliked as a babyface, and the way he both is given what he's given and what he does is so like, oh man, you'd be a great dickhead. It's so weird to think like be a great dickhead, but like, listen, when Hogan turned heel in '96, right, that revolutionized Hogan at the sport, but it revolutionized Hogan in terms of like every single match that he had from then on felt fresh.
Yeah.
And nothing feels fresh with Roman. And we already had to put up with this with Cena before, and everyone just got like annoyed and let it slide. But I don't think everyone's letting it slide with this dude.
Who steps up in his place though, right? Because you know the way I beat this drum that Roman is pretty much only booed by the smarks, but like he's over to everyone else, which is true. If you go look at the WWE Twitter, and they tweeted something about Roman and Brock and the finish. What did you think of it? And every fucking person who replied is
fuck Roman.
No. The exact opposite. Everyone who replied still believes in kayfabe, and they were like, Roman won. What the fuck? Like, why have you taken the belt? Like, Roman won that. Both his feet touched the floor. And like, there's like screenshots of the rules of a cage match. People putting up pictures of Roman's feet hitting the floor first. All of this stuff. And like, these are the people who believe in kayfabe, right? These are the people who fucking keep the show running. They're the ones that buy the merch, and Roman sells the most merch, right? So I say turn Roman heel because for my enjoyment that would be the best possible thing. But who takes his place? Who sells?
What, as the hated? The
top face. Who is the top face in the company? Who's gonna, like, Cena isn't? He's not there the whole time anymore. Like, who else is there to do that? Rollins even in his title run. Rollins never got the same affection from the merch sales, as it would have to be Braun, but Braun still
is not a t-shirt guy. He's
also so far behind Roman in Google traffic and all that stuff. Like,
and he's also not like I don't want to see. I mean, not that I want to see Roman Reigns 20-minute matches every night, but like I certainly don't want to see Braun doing long main events and long talking segments. He's one of those people that's kept short. Like Goldberg.
Yeah, Goldberg is a
short
great
and sweet.
comparison, yeah. So, like, who if they do turn Roman, this is why they can't fucking do it, is because there's nobody else. Like, he's the guy that's, like, carrying the fire at the moment. Like,
he's the torchbearer. I would say, I think it's about time. Hang on, I'm going to give you a joke answer. I think the Big Show has been sat on the sidelines far too long. Now,
he's 7 foot tall and 500 pounds.
Yeah. So, you could say that they could get the machine behind Finn like they did when he came in at SummerSlam. They could. The thing is, I don't know if it's necessarily because the thing is they had their wilderness years in 2001 after Austin and Rock left, 2003. If you go back on those Raw and SmackDown, like even though they had Kurt and Brock as like the top guys, there wasn't like a this is an era defined by insert name. And they found that with Cena, and then they stuck with it. And then there's two key points in the Cena run from the beginning from 2005 to, let's say, a couple of years ago. It was like Jeff Hardy outsold him, Rey Mysterio outsold him, and CM Punk outsold him. So they had three people they could have potentially done more business with, but like Jeff got into drug problems, and was promptly fired and went to TNA. Rey Mysterio, he was fucked. His knee was fucked. He kept getting injured. And CM Punk walked out. So they got burned for different reasons 3 times. So I think that is more of a challenge there than it is to do it on TV, if that makes sense. I think finding someone who they go, is he as reliable as that guy? Because those three lads, like, yeah, they're all really good wrestlers, but like they all had their own weird problems. Like, because obviously Ray was always hurt. Jeff Hardy was always like, man, if we put the company behind this guy, he could get arrested, he could get in trouble. And in CM Punk, he was almost always a prima donna, or at least in the second half, because he even said, like, I turned heel for you, and he got all pissed off because all he got out of his heel turn, which cost him millions of dollars, was a match versus Triple H, which is why he walked out. So I guess Daniel Bryan, because the Yes Movement was mainstream, wasn't it?
But it didn't outsell, like Bryan as champion doesn't sell as much as Roman does. It's not as big of a draw. Like it's just, and I know to anyone like anyone our age that watches wrestling is going to hear me say that and recoil in horror. But like it's the fucking truth. So what do they do about that? How do they fucking plug that hole?
Only time will tell. I say making him a tweener would fix some of the problems because it
did wonders for them way back when. Like I fucking loved that entire thing. And I think
people who like him, they're not given explicit reasons not to like him. Exactly, he's just fighting anyone.
And like they go on and they complain, like, oh, this guy's supposed to be a face. Like they just didn't get the booking or whatever. But like you would take that now, and that seemed bad at the time. But you would
Austin
take that
was a
now.
tweener.
Yeah, Austin was a tweener, and I think
especially in '97, he'd stun JR as well. He'd stun Shawn Michaels. He'd stun Dude Love, but he'd also stun Vince and Jeff Jarrett and whoever, and Undertaker. So he was stunning everyone. So why can't they have Roman just go after everyone?
That's what they should do. Yeah.
So if you're a true like lone, it's just me against the world sort of type, like you do see everyone as an enemy rather than being like, oh yeah, the Shield of my buddies. He's like, nah, fuck that. It's every man for himself. Speaking of every man for himself.
Good night, folks.
50-man, it's the 50-man Royal Rumble. I just have three things to say about it. It was nice that Bryan was the Iron Man. It was funny to see Titus trip over. We've all seen it. We've all known what it is. And it was also pretty cool to see some of the returning people.
Yeah, the Great Khali.
There you go. Yeah, Great Khali and Jericho and Angle and Shane McMahon and Hornswoggle and my favorite bit was when Primo came out at 27 and you could hear a pin drop, like legitimately could hear a pin drop.
And he did something. He botched something like straight away when he came in as well, didn't he?
He was. I mean, he let the world down, and he had the world at his feet. Bless. I didn't even know he was still employed for the company. I thought they gave up on him when he stopped doing the Conquistadores gimmick. What is Conquistadores? The Luchador, Matador. No, what are they called? Matadors. That's it.
Ah, that's who that guy is.
Yeah. Los Conquistadors was Edge and Christian in a fucking mask. Yeah, this was definitely like a house show match. But just want to say, going pretty well for the Wyatts. So one of them won the Battle Royal. The other two are tag team champions, and they'll lead as tag team champions. So who would have thought?
That's very true, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, who would have thought, right? We're fucking living in the Wyatt era, my friend.
A couple other notes. Braun Strowman has now got the record for most eliminations in a Royal Rumble at 13, beating Roman Reigns at 12. And
so they're even taking away his record there, lol.
Yeah, but like, dude, that does look like they're doing a little bit of retcon.
Subtle, but
I worry for Roman. But yeah, anyway, the Rumble. I mean, like, Royal Rumble matches are hard to do and get right when it's 30 people. They just do not have the fucking roster for 50 when you have. Just looking through the list of names.
That's why they don't do 50 ever.
Yeah.
That's why 30 or 20 or 30 is like the perfect number, because when they got to like 34 and I was sat there like, there's 15 people to go, and I've seen a lot of people already, and I'm not going to start taking notes on everyone that comes in and out, because that would make the thing twice as difficult to watch and even more less fun than it actually was. I mean, they did it. It's like one of those things that sometimes they do a house shows that just have a random battle royal or whatever. Yeah, it felt like that shouldn't even actually obviously it's the promotional thing, but I'm like, should it have been televised? 5 hours was too damn long for a show.
Yeah, they need to fucking really seriously stop this shit. Like, WrestleMania is like the biggest wrestling night of the year. I get that
7 hours.
Monday off every day, every
Yeah.
year. I mean, and I just
Every
can't.
day.
Yeah, every day I get Monday off, and I can't fucking deal with that being 5 hours. So like, seriously, just stop.
Yeah, just and unless you want us to start watching shit in is it well maybe that's what they want, to just be like, listen, if we put a real long show, they might not all watch it in one sitting, but they'll keep coming back, so we can always like have the views and everything. But it's like, well, fuck that. Like, it's listen, I'm not complaining. No one's making us review this, right? No one put a gun to our heads or anything to review this.
Well,
But well, you know, the gun of pressure, I suppose. The pressure gun was there. Like, realistically, it's very difficult to be as freshly ready to talk about something that you've been watching for. And by the way, maybe you don't watch it in a single sitting. Again, this is all context, all relevant or irrelevant, whichever way you see it. But like, it makes it difficult. And I'm not saying WWE changed because I can't review stuff, but it's more like,
oh yeah, I just mean
it's not good.
No.
Because if something was 5 hours and good, when I first did a 5 hour Mania, I think it was like 17. That's fucking perfect. Because that is a good wrestling show. That is a good all-round show. When they did one of the recent ones, I think it was like 28 or 29. Whichever one had Taker and Shawn, even though it ended on a fucking fart with Triple H and Orton. Whichever one that was, I think it's 2009. Like, that was worthy of being 5 hours. I really enjoyed that WrestleMania. A couple of ones down the line, but it's when every show is 4 or 5 hours long and you don't have enough coverage to make it as interesting from hour 1 to hour 5.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. Sort it out.
Although we did finally
that's
get
my
to
review.
we did finally get to see Fandango and Mojo Rawley go at it. So
that's good.
Yeah.
So that's good, yeah. And Mojo Rawley, he was in that tryout video. He's like the most unlikeliest motherfucker I've ever seen. I hate that man.
Mojo freaking Rawley.
Yeah, everything about him is very unlikable. So maybe he'd make a great heel.
Yeah, I fucking hate him, and that's that.
And more power to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck it. It ended on a fart. It was nice to see Big Cass chuck out the other dude, and he was all like, "Yo, take out my trash. You're my trash man," because I have the bully thing with Daniel Bryan and Big Cass, big can of piss, Big Cass.
Big can of piss.
I don't think they put any storylines through, did they? Apart from that one, nothing really developed. It's all status quo.
The AJ Nakamura thing was the only thing for me that came close to that, because it showed a little bit of build in Nakamura's viciousness. That was kind of cool, but I mean, that was intentional. Like, you know, that's not a linear projection. That's just yeah. So
we have to do that here because he's a heel now. That's it.
Exactly.
It wasn't like they went, now we tell part 2 of the story. I just fell. See, that was so bad that my lighter just fell behind. Yeah. So I hope everyone enjoyed this.
Yeah. Let's hope that there are more random pay-per-view events in the fucking calendar in random countries. Yeah.